Hi, welcome back to my channel. I can't believe it's already the end of February going into March. Like, where did this month go? I feel like it went by so quickly, and I'm so excited for March because March means the start of spring, which I love spring, and also my birthday. Excited for that. I mean, I don't have any plans, to be honest. I haven't really thought about my birthday this year because I think it's just been so hectic. Everything going on from the last half of 2023 and just up till now, it's still so hectic. So I just haven't. I literally forgot my birthday was coming up until like last week. That's not the point of today's video. Today we're gonna be going over the books that I read in February. We're doing a little quick wrap up. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, and we're just gonna quickly go through them because I don't want to bore you guys to death with me yapping. So we're just gonna jump right in. The first book we read in February was Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This was really big on TikTok, and it's been big for like months now, probably like up to half a year or longer, don't remember. Finally picked it up, read it, and adored it. I love this. I think she did a really good job with enemies to lovers. They're truly enemies, and I mean, like, she is who he hunts for a living. So if you guys don't know what this book is about, it's dual POV. We follow Peyton, who is a ordinary. She has no powers in a society of people that have powers. People who are ordinaries like her are executed. And then you have Kai. He is the prince of this kingdom. He is hunting ordinaries. He's kind of like the assassin of the family. He's not the crown prince, but he's a prince. They kind of have like this really unfortunate event that catapults Peyton into this Hunger Game-esque royal competition full of people that have powers, and yet she does not have powers. So it's really fun. It's fast-paced. There's things going on all the time. The characters are fun. The banter, the tension, guys, the tension is so thick with this book. When I tell you, this is one of the most tension-filled romance fantasies that I've read in a really long time. I was squealing when I was reading this, not because it was romantic, but it was just like, please. It was just, I can't say too much because I don't want to spoil it, obviously. The tension in it was so good. It was very much enemies to lovers. So if you guys like that trope, definitely give this book a try. I don't exactly remember what I rated this book in the beginning of the month, but sitting on it now, I think I want to give this book I almost said 2. No, a 4.25. It was just really enjoyable. I think the only thing that really like knocked down its rating was I didn't feel that like anxious when it came to the action and the politics of this book. I just knew everything was gonna go right, you know, because of Kai. But I will say the ending of this story, oh my god, I need the next book. It broke my heart. It made me so nervous. I'm so excited for the second book. I believe it's coming out this summer, but in April, there's gonna be like a little novella following a side character. And I think I might read that too because I'm, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. The next book I read was part of my reading my 2024 most anticipated books, Never by Jessa Hastings. This was a journey, to say the least. If you guys haven't watched that video, definitely go check it out because I go in depth about my feelings about this book, but I'm gonna just briefly go over it here. I gave this book a 2.75 rating, which is really heartbreaking and really just surprising because of how much I love Jessa Hastings' writing. I love her Magnolia Parks universe. So I was really highly anticipating this read because this is her first fantasy book. And just like, look at this. It's beautiful. I just had such high expectations. I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but I think I'm just a little bit underwhelmed with this story. I didn't like the characters very much. I liked Jameson Hook. He was funny, he was witty, but there were some things that kind of felt a little bit unforgivable. I didn't really enjoy Daphne. Did not like Peter Pan at all. I think my biggest issue with this book was that it wasn't giving fantasy. So it was giving Neverland. If you guys have read Peter Pan or watched the Peter Pan movie, you know how magical and whimsical the realm is. She didn't go that deep into the world. There was some concepts that were really interesting that I really wished she went into a little more, but this ultimately just felt like Magnolia Parks in Neverland with unlikable characters because their romance was out of nowhere. They just met each other and they were really toxic, but it just didn't make sense. It was really hard to root for these characters. I just didn't find myself enjoying them. I think I just wanted more fantasy, more world building, and more not toxic romance. I gave this a 2.75. I want to continue this series because I want to see where Jessa takes this. I'll know what I'm getting myself into in the future, so I'm not too worried about that. After reading Never, I wanted something fast-paced, filled with fantasy topics and politics, so I picked up Fourth Wing, which is another one of my most anticipated 2024 releases. I was so excited to jump into this. Again, this is in that video, so if you want a more in-depth reaction, definitely go check that out. But this book I gave a 4.75. This is the second book in the series, so I'm not going to dive too much into this, but I really enjoyed this. I liked it more than Fourth Wing. I think I rated it about the same, but I do like it more because it had more politics, it had more action. If you've read Fourth Wing, it's more so learning about the world, learning about the dragons around them, and building up to what's going to happen in this book, which was nice. I liked the characters and I really enjoyed the world building, but this one really dove into the politics, the conflict that is taking place in this world, and I really enjoyed that. I love the characters. The side characters were by far better, so much better in this book than the others, because you kind of find that found family effect. This sounds terrible, but once like other characters die off, the ones that are left behind you feel so much attachment to, because you're like, oh, what if they die next? Like, I can't have them die next. I like them. I actually know their personalities. I really enjoyed this book. The only reason why I didn't get a 5-star was because the ending was a little bit confusing. I feel like it was a little bit of a fever dream. It happens so quickly and then you find something out and you're like, huh? Rather than like, oh, I can see that. That makes a lot of sense. I don't want to be confused. I want to be surprised. I don't want to be like, what is going on? How did this happen? Rather than, oh my gosh, how did I not see this coming? Regardless, I still really enjoy this book. Super excited for the next book. Don't know when it is. Kingdom of the Feared. This is the third book in the Kingdom of the Wicked series. I can't go too much into it, but I enjoyed this one more than the other two books. The characters were more sure of themselves. The mysteries and the secrets really came out with this book. So I was just, what? I wouldn't say it was one of my favorite fantasy reads, but it's an enjoyable one. I would recommend it if you guys want mystery with fantasy, witches, Princess of Hell. I want to give this book a 3.75. I liked it more than the other books. Oh my gosh, I forgot this one. Okay, this one I read before Kingdom of the Feared, but I read Heartless by Elsie Silver. This is the second book in the Chestnut Spring series. I love the Chestnut Spring series. I've only read 2 of the 5 books, but so far I'm really enjoying it. It's just so easy to read. If you could take a rom-com and slap it onto pages, this is it. It's just so easy to sit back and breeze through this. The chapters are short. You eat it up like candy. You're always like, one more chapter. This was almost a 500-page book, but I read it in like 2 or 3 days. It's very dialogue filled. If you guys don't know, the Chestnut Spring series follows a group of brothers and also side characters that you meet in the other books. This one follows Cade Eaton. He's a single dad, runs a farm, a ranch. Is there a difference? I think there's a difference. Farm is like more plants, but ranch means animals, and he does handle animals a lot in this book. And then you also follow Willa, who is the quirky, fun best friend of Summer, who was the main character in the first book. And I loved Willa. This is giving exactly what a grumpy sunshine needs to give. Cade is so grumpy. Willa is super friendly, super high energy, and it's adorable. Literally the cutest book ever. Cade is looking for a nanny for his 5-year-old son. He hires Willa, and Willa becomes their in-home nanny for the summer. That's all you get to know. So you kind of go through that process of them falling in love and trying to allow themselves happiness with each other. It was just a lighthearted book that I enjoyed reading as kind of a palate cleanser. I want to give this book a 4-star. I really enjoyed it. The last book we're going to talk about for today's video is The Vanishing Stair. I had to look at it, by Maureen Johnson. This is the second book in the Truly Devious series. After all of the events that happened in Truly Devious, if you guys don't, let me just rewind a little bit. If you guys don't know what the Truly Devious series is about, it's a YA mystery. You have this really elite academy in the mountains that specialize in helping cultivate teenage talents. So you have characters like Nate. He wrote a book that went viral, so now he's a student here working on his second book. You have Janelle, who is really good at machines and building technology. And then you have Stevie, our main character. She is a die-hard mystery fan, like Agatha Christie, Sherlock Holmes, anything that has to do with mystery, she loves it. She also is obsessed with the mystery that is behind this academy. When this school first opened up, there was a crime. The founder of this academy, his wife and his daughter were kidnapped, and this crime was never solved. So Stevie is obsessed with it, and she wants to solve the crime. She gets accepted into this academy. I think I like this one a little more because I found it more interesting. The first one I kind of was like, okay, I don't really care. I don't really care who did it, like who done it. I'm here for the ride. But this one I was like, okay, I'm like interested now. So I want to give this one a 3.75. I really enjoyed the later half of this book. The first portion of it was a little bit slow, a little bit like I don't care. But in the second half, I was like, ooh, this is juicy. Tell me more. What I find fascinating about this series is that it kind of jumps between present day and past. You get CV investigating, but then you also get chapters where you're seeing these characters communicate with each other that kind of solidify what CV thought or found out. If you want an easy mystery, definitely pick up the Truly Devious series. Okay, so those were all of the books that I read for the month of February. I feel like majority of them were pretty good, so I'm happy with that. And I'm really excited to go into my March TBR. If you haven't seen my March TBR where my boyfriend gives me book prompts for me to choose. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you guys have read these books before and how you feel about them. Thank you again for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye!